So often our culture sends messages to men of like, don't feel, real men don't cry, all these different messages they receive. And so then they walk into marriage and they are connecting with a woman who's emotional and they don't know what to do with that. Hi, it's Erin Smalley, and today we're talking about how we can influence our husbands for good. Our behaviors and our choices impact our husbands, and we have so much influence. I think so often as wives, we don't recognize we have. We can influence our husbands for good or for ill, and we get to choose what that is. And really, we have the influence to help him become the man that God created him to be. I'm going to share 3 ways that you can influence your husband for good. So, tip number 1, your husband needs your encouragement. And I know right now you're probably thinking, he needs my encouragement. I need his encouragement. And yes, you want encouragement too. So we're going to link to a video above so he can learn how to encourage you as well. To encourage means to make courageous. And so literally you're breathing courage into him when you encourage him. It's helpful as a wife to recognize the importance of this and the difference you can make in his day, in his walk, in his life. You never know what he's going to deal with when he walks outside your door or when you're both heading out the door. You never know what's going to happen throughout the day. So, breathing encouragement into him before he leaves, before you part ways for the day, is huge. That again is utilizing your influence for good. Typically, how I do this is I'll ask Greg before we're parting ways in the morning, hey, what do you have going on today? And then I'll encourage him, like, hey, you're going to do great. And can I pray for you right now? And then I follow up later in the day to go, hey, how did that presentation go? And again, it's just an opportunity of utilizing our influence. How we show up can make a huge difference. So, tip number 2, you can help your husband grow in expressing his feelings. Now, this isn't always the case, but often women can access their feelings and are just stronger at expressing feelings. And again, that's not always the case, but we have influence in this area. As we're accessing our emotions and we're learning and growing, recognizing what to do with these things called emotions, God gave them to us and He has them too. And so often our culture sends messages to men of like, don't feel, real men don't cry, all these different messages they receive. And so then they walk into marriage and they are connecting with a woman who's emotional and they don't know what to do with that. So you're utilizing your influence to help them access and express their emotions. Oftentimes, I encourage clients to get a feelings wheel. I actually have one at our dining room table, and it's always an interesting conversation with my husband and my son because they're like, what is this thing and what do we do with it? But really, all it is it's a bunch of feeling words. And modeling how to utilize it and even asking them, hey, which words would you pick off of this feelings wheel, which is just a list of feelings that you felt in the last 24 hours. Awesome opportunity to influence them, but then also to have that connection point, heart to heart, emotion to emotion. It's going to help you feel closer to one another. So maybe you're feeling like your communication is great, but you're struggling in conflict. We have a great resource here at Focus on the Family, a free marriage assessment. You can take that and it's going to help you navigate the ups and downs of your relationship. And again, just taking a marriage assessment actually brings you closer together. And we'll link information for the Focus on the Family marriage assessment down below. So, tip number 3, you can influence your husband to connect relationally and become more relationally minded. Women often have more of an ability to connect relationally just because oftentimes, and again, not always, but oftentimes we are equipped with more empathy and compassion, things that are important in relationships. And we can help our spouse by modeling that, but then also encouraging them to seek out connection with other male friends and maybe the kids or parents or whatever that looks like. But it's important to recognize we have influence in that and we can encourage them modeling behaviors that will help them in relationships. My husband will often say he only has friends because I set him up on play dates with other men, which is not true. But I do look for opportunities like, oh, that's a great couple. And maybe we could go out as couples and maybe Greg would connect with the husband and then they can hang out and watch games or have coffee or whatever they want to do. Oftentimes, men want to play down that they don't need connection like we do, but that's just not true. It's simply not true. God created us all as relational human beings, created us to be connected to Him first and foremost, but also to be connected to each other. So, what an amazing opportunity we have to influence our spouse to pursue connection. They need that, and they need other men in their life specifically to root them on during those times that they're struggling maybe with something we don't fully get. So, again, oftentimes we have more capacity and we can absolutely help to facilitate that for our spouse. Sometimes what I hear is this manipulation? Are you manipulating your spouse if you're influencing them? No, there's a great difference. We cannot control what anyone else does or doesn't do, specifically our spouse, and that's probably no surprise to you. But we have influence, and that's just showing up as our best self, showing up intentionally within the relationship, because what we do is influence the overall mood in the relationship. Are we showing up in safe ways so the connection feels safe? Again, can't control what they do or don't do, but gosh, God gave us this ability to influence. Why not use it? So thanks for joining me today. And if you like this information, feel free to like and subscribe the Focus on the Family Marriage channel, because our heart is to help families thrive in Christ.